Nearly every pregnant woman has this, but it's not talked about enough. Hi, lovelies. Today, I'm actually going to share with you guys something that caught me off guard 3 months postpartum. So, on this day, I was trying to get out of bed, and I remember seeing a very strange bulge in the middle of my stomach. And it got me worked up. I was like, oh my goodness, what is this? It felt very strange to me because I had not noticed it before then. And then I realized that every time I tried to engage my abdominal muscle, like lean forward, was when the bulge was pronounced. So it dawned on me like, probably I did not notice it because I had not really engaged my abdominal muscles due to my cesarean birth. So I started doing my research. That was when I found out and learned what diastasis recti was. So for those of you who don't know, let me break it down for you. Diastasis recti is literally the separation of your six-pack muscle down the middle of the abdomen. It happens when the connective tissues stretches to make room for a growing baby, especially in pregnant women. And for many women, those muscles do not automatically go back together after delivery. Clinically, it is diagnosed when the gap, that's the separation, is 2 or more around the belly button area. The risk of getting diastasis recti is higher when someone has like multiple pregnancy, twins, triplets, and when you have a bigger baby. For my case, I think it kind of added up. I had a smaller stature and I had a geriatric pregnancy. So I had a bit of a weaker core strength, I think. Your risk can also be high when you do activities that creates like high abdominal pressure. Say for example, heavy lifting or intense ab workouts. So it's not just like belly fat, it's actual muscle separation. Some of you might be wondering how common it is. So by late pregnancy, up to 100% of women have some level of abdominal separation to accommodate the pregnancy. You might start recovery, but it's not always like completely. Say for example, around 60% still have the separation at about 6 weeks postpartum, while 40% have it at about 6 months postpartum. Then roughly 1 in 3 women have the separation up to 1 year after birth. So when I noticed the separation, the first thing I did was to raise the concern with my GP, and then I was clinically diagnosed with diastasis recti because the separation around my navel was, I think, 2 centimeters, and the linear arbor separation, that's the black long line on new mommy's belly, was about 1 finger wide. So when she placed her finger on my tummy, she was like, mine was just 1 finger. The measurement sometimes is up to 3 finger separation, and those are like a bit more severe cases. Then I was referred to a physiotherapist who gave me simple routines that was centered around core activation to help bring my abdominal muscles together. And to be honest, since I started those exercises, I've seen a change in the appearance of my abdominal muscles. I know for sure that it's getting back together. It's not as, should I use the word bad? It's not like what it used to look before I went to the physiotherapist. Yeah, I know some of you might be wondering, oh, why should I care? It's just a separation. I'm just a new mom. But you should really care because it affects your core strength and it can affect your posture. It can even cause back pain because then your muscles are not really aligned and there's a strain on your spine. For those who care about physical appearance, your stomach, how it looks could take months or years for like it to go back to the way it used to look. And no, this is not just really like a conversation about snapping back. It's mostly about function. So one of the biggest mistakes a lot of women make is jumping into intense ab workouts too soon. I did that. That was before I was diagnosed of diastasis recti. I didn't know. I went on the rowing machine for the moment I got diagnosed of it, I was told there's certain workout I should not even do, I should not engage in because it might make it worse. Some of those exercises people get into too soon, they're like crunches, sit-up, planks. It's not bad if it's done correctly, but if it's done incorrectly, you can actually make it worse unknowingly. So if you suspect diastasis recti, it's best to get assessed by either a doctor or a physiotherapist. Now, here's what actually works. The healing process has to be strategic and not aggressive, and you can do it slowly. And the good news is that most cases of diastasis recti improve with targeted core rehab. And many people do not really need surgery for it to get back together if you're able to follow through. Why there might be cases of, surgery to repair the muscles. When I went to my physiotherapist, so there were exercises she gave to me after diagnosis. This includes core activation, deep breathing. When I first heard deep breathing, I was like, it's not just to breathe in and out. But when I actually started practicing deep breathing the correct way, I could feel it. And she explained to me how it is targeted around your, like your lower belly, because that place kind of holds the muscles together. And then just those slow controlled movements, such as like leg taps, like you lift your leg up, put it back down while you are breathing deeply. And the first few times I tried it, I was gasping for breath because it was really targeted at my core, and I could feel it, like the tightness whenever I did it while practicing deep breathing. So yeah, it's been helping. She also suggested something else that could help, which is using the stomach belts, the belts that most mothers use for postpartum recovery. So if you can use that belt for times when you can't really do the exercises, that also helps. So this is not really about punishment. It is about rebuilding intentionally, slowly, and patiently. When I learned about this, it completely changed how I approached recovery. I took it slowly and I completely stopped other forms of exercises and focused on recommendations from my physiotherapist. There was one thing she told me, which I took to heart. She said to stop obsessing how my stomach looked, because really, I used to go in front of the mirror and be like, what is this? So I stopped looking at my stomach. I just stopped. So I started doing the exercises, and the good thing is that my stomach appearance has actually improved. And then I started focusing on rebuilding just slowly, properly, and gently. If I will leave you with anything, it is this: your postpartum body is not broken. It is rebuilding, it is healing, and rebuilding requires wisdom, patience, and consistency. Do not do it today and forget for the next 5 days. Consistency is the main thing. I know it's not always easy for you to remember to do these exercises, but just try. Probably set an alarm on your phone to help you remember. So if you have previously heard of diastasis recti or you've experienced it, kindly share your experience too. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.